Let's bring in our military analyst, Major General Charlie Herbert. And Charlie, from a military perspective, was this attack expected, foreseen?
I mean, Jane, the deliberate, targeted killing of senior Hamas leadership is absolutely not unexpected at all. And I expect that we're going to see quite a few more of these sort of killings. Israel made it absolutely clear after the 7th of October that they wouldn't stop until they'd sought their retribution on all of those who were involved in that massacre on the 7th of October. And of course, this kind of targeted assassination outside of Israel has been part of Israel's strategic policy for the last 75 years. So not unexpected at all. The timing of the killing of Salah al-arouri is interesting. They arguably could have killed him earlier, I suspect. He's a key player, not just in the organisation, but he's said to be one of the key negotiators for the release of the hostages. One doesn't normally go about killing somebody who one seeks to talk to gain further negotiations. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see the impact of this killing on those hostage negotiations as we move forward.
So that's one element of the impact, but also the impact from Hezbollah. How may they react to this attack on their turf in Lebanon?
Yeah, I mean, this is the million-dollar question. And Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, said last year that an attack of this nature would be a red line, an absolute red line for them. He's due to give a speech at some point this afternoon, and we think that's going to go ahead. It's a speech that was planned before the killing yesterday, but we understand that will have... I think there are three options for Hezbollah. They can respond in full, effectively go to war in Israel. I think that's highly unlikely. They can respond in part, some form of limited action beneath the threshold of war to try to de-escalate this conflict, or they could not respond at all, which again I think is unlikely. What we've seen since the 7th of October is a series of retaliatory attacks going on between the IDF in northern Israel and Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, but they've sought to keep that at a manageable level. The greater concern, I think, at the moment isn't just what happens in Lebanon and northern Israel with Hezbollah, it is what happens down to the south with Yemen. It's only 48 hours ago, of course, that both the US and the UK were talking about the consideration of conducting strikes against Houthi militia in Yemen, who, of course, have been, launching attacks at shipping in the Red Sea. So significant risks of escalation, perhaps more so now than in any other time since the 7th of October.
And as we look at that map, of course, we've got Iran and we've got the town of Kerman up there as well. This incident that's happened there today, the death toll continuing to rise. I mean, do you think this is possibly linked?
Yeah, it's too early, I think, Jane, to draw any firm conclusions about this. What we know is that over 100 people were killed in two separate bombing explosions about a kilometre from the grave of General Soleimani. Soleimani was probably the second most powerful man in Iran. He was the Quds Force commander. He was the man that conducted clandestine operations and terrorism, the man who supported Hamas and Hezbollah, on behalf of Iran. Hugely powerful man. He was killed 4 years ago in a US strike at Baghdad airport. Iran threatened revenge in response to that. We've not seen it. One can't help thinking that whoever conducted this attack today, this bombing on the 4th anniversary of Soleimani's death, it just appears as if they're trying to provoke a greater regional escalation. But too early to speculate as to who did it.